Good morning, you guys. Happy Monday. What is up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie. Oh my gosh, you guys. I do not have any makeup on or anything at all. My face is super bare. Anyway, I feel like I don't even hardly wear makeup anymore anyway, to be honest with you, but whatever. Anyway, you guys, how are you? I've not been posting consistently. Honestly, it's really hard because I have super bad ADHD and I just cannot even articulate a sentence very often. And when I'm talking, I don't make sense. And I know a lot of people don't understand me. And then I get super discouraged because I'm like, oh my goodness, I look like a wackadoodle because, I don't make a lot of sense. I want to make sense, but I just cannot. You know what I mean? I cannot get the words out of my mouth. Jesus, pay attention, buddy. Anywho, but yeah, so you guys, I have that ADHD, and on top of that, the CPTSD, and both of those things can cause a lot of, not confusion, but, memory impairment and stuff like that. A lot of short-term memory loss, and, I just don't even know how to have a conversation because, honestly, I don't really even freaking see adults very often, other than at church, and, that is it. I don't have a lot of interaction with people. And honestly, I mean, I really wasn't taught how to interact with nobody. Damn, I don't know how to describe it, but I don't know how to interact with people. And dude, when I was on drugs, the drugs made me super paranoid. And then I would be thinking crazy freaking things. And I'm permanently stuck like that. I'm permanently stuck with crazy thoughts. I have super crazy intrusive thoughts. And I really can't have a long conversation because when you're talking to me, I'm picturing fucking songs and music and lyrics, and I'm like da 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 in my head. You know what I mean? And then it's you know, I'm like shh, tell myself, but I'm like, oh my god, dude, I have the weirdest thoughts. It's not even funny, but anyway. So yeah, it really makes me just not want to make videos, but at the same time, I know for a fact that a lot of my other fellow ADHDers out there are, can relate to me because, it is very relatable. If you are in the ADHD community, then our brains are always thinking, and it's no, there's never a break, especially if you're unmedicated like me. That is crazy, dude. It's just thoughts flying everywhere. I say this all the time, and I'm going to keep saying this for the remainder of my life. I feel like I have file cabinets in my head. Of course, everybody has memories and stuff, but I picture my memories in file cabinets, and the file cabinets are all busted open, and papers are just thrown everywhere, and there's a fan on, and it's like a really turbo fan, and so the papers are just flying everywhere erratically, and that's it. That's how I feel. Okay, dude, you know what? I'm so annoyed. What the frick? I literally was just about, what? Oh, fuck, I forgot I have no gas, and I'm over here driving around like a dumbass. Shit, I gotta go get gas. I'm actually gonna park right here, and then I'm gonna throw my car. I'll run out of gas. My bad. Sorry. I'm so sorry. No aura, no gas, no nothing. I'm messing with you. I'm so sorry. Okay. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you guys, I don't know. I can't freaking think straight. But anywho, you guys, so it has been a really long weekend. My little daughter turned 5 years old on December 8th, and it was just crazy because, of course, every time that they get a year older, it's oh my gosh, I just can't believe it. And for Mia, it's a lot different for Mia because, both her and Nevaeh, it was every pregnancy and every child is different, but for Mia, it was very different because, when I got pregnant with Mia, I had just lost my mom, and I was super in a really, really bad place before I got pregnant. And that was really why I wanted to be pregnant, because I thought in my head, oh, it's going to take the pain from my mom away, and it's going to help me, and it's going to heal me, and it's, comfort me. And, it's crazy. But although, you guys, I'm going to be 34 years old, I did not start growing until like I was 26, and there are still a lot of things that I'm learning, you know what I mean? And like it's crazy because I'm going to be 34, and a lot of people from the outside who don't know my circumstances are like, "Girl, you're already 34, like you should already know better," but I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm just learning. Anyway, but it is what it is. I'm learning, I'm trying. That's all I can do, nobody's perfect. But when I got pregnant of Mia, those are the thoughts that I had, and so like my mom died 1/17/16, and I got pregnant of Mia around February of 2017. And when I got pregnant of Mia, like I had literally just met her dad in August the year before. But in my brain, I'm like, ooh, let's have sex with these men. And then once I give them my body, they're going to love me. And then they're going to, I don't know, dude, it's weird. But as soon as I got pregnant of Mia, I had literally only been sober since December of 2016. So I was barely sober, like barely. And if you know anything about recovery, then you would know like you really need to give yourself a year of recovery, at least before you're being with anybody, you know what I mean? Before you're being in a relationship, but before you go have babies and stuff like that. Because you're not, you know what I mean? You're barely a baby in recovery. And I lived the fast life, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go get pregnant, and everything's going to be great. This guy loves me, and he loves his kids, and he's a single dad. And then as soon as I got pregnant, like, I was like, oh shit. Like, I started seeing red flags, and, he talks to himself like me as dad, like he talks out loud and shit, like. And when I noticed that, I for obviously, like, I used to do drugs, so I thought like I was fucking hallucinating or something. I was like, maybe I'm tripping. When you do drugs, you think people are talking and shit. It's crazy. So I thought that maybe that was the case, you know what I mean? Well, his little son does too, dude. And like that would really mess with my head, because his little son would be coming over and he'd be talking to himself out loud, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was tripped out, and it was like so bizarre. But anyway, you guys, it took me forever till I realized that like that was just not what was going to make me happy. And now I finally realized nobody is going to make me happy. No relationship, no drug, nothing. Nobody, not my mom, not my dad, not my kids, not nobody. Nobody is going to make me happy until I'm happy inside. Like, period. Period. No drug in the world can fill the void that you have inside of you. You know what I mean? Like, all it ever does is mask that pain. And now I finally realized that, but it took me like forever before I finally like got it through my brain. Anywho, and so I just went through my entire pregnancy of Mia, and I had barely got sober, and like I wanted to use, like, honestly, like I didn't want to be sober, not all the time. Like, I mean, because at that point I had already realized like drugs affect pregnancy, but I wasn't taught that. I didn't get taught that. Like I only went to the 5th grade. Like, I mean, yeah, like, I didn't know about a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? And so with Mia, and I'm just talking about my life, my situation. So please, God, keep your judgment to yourself. Like, if you don't like me, if you don't like anything I'm talking about, then don't watch my videos. You have the power. Anyway, but the bottom line is that I was barely sober, you guys, and so I love all my babies, but I'm just saying, like, you guys, when you're a baby yourself, and even though I was 20 something years old, I was still a baby because I was very, immature. I didn't know about a lot of things. I was never taught nothing. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, you guys, and so I put myself in an outpatient drug program, like 6 months through my pregnancy, and willingly. And so I went and voluntarily signed myself up, and everybody that was there was like court ordered, parole, probation, CPS. And me, and I had my 2 kids. I had Nevaeh and Nico already with me, and so like everybody in the drug program was like, and I had already graduated this drug program once, and it's a year-long, super hard, intense program. So it was like, hi, I'm back. Like, I've been here before I graduated, but I'm back again. It was a lot of like shame, a lot of embarrassment, and a lot of like all of those things. And then not just that, you guys, but the fact that, I was willingly there by myself. Everybody there was just like, this freaking police is right here. Sorry. I literally just, everybody that was there was just like, why do you, what's wrong with you, girl? Like, you're crazy. Why would you come here on your own? Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, hell no, you wouldn't catch me signing up for nothing like this. And I was like, yeah, I want to be here. I need to be here because I knew that I needed something and someone to hold me accountable, because the drug program drug tested randomly, like you never knew, and so and thank God I was never one of those type of people that try to fake my P test or nothing like that. Like, I was always honest. If I failed, I would always be honest, but thank God I didn't have any slip ups. But I'm just saying, if I had ever had a slip up, which for me, to be honest with you, I never have, not like through courts or through this program or nothing like that. I have once upon a time, but that was through like the doctors and shit, when I used to get pain pills and I'd be like on drugs and they'd be like, you're dirty. I'd be like, I had no idea how. I don't know. That's a mistake. Anyway, but with this program, I was honest, and I would randomly get drug tested, and it was a really, really, really hard program, but I knew, Jamie, if you are not doing something, you are going to relapse, because it was just too much pressure to not only be a single mom. Even though I was in this relationship with this man, he was always, always working. And then I had to take on his responsibility of his 2 kids who were already super out of control, didn't really ever want to go to school, didn't listen, always getting in trouble, always talking crap. You know what I mean? And then just all of that was just too much for me. And every time their dad would come home, I'd be like so stressed out, and I was pregnant and this drug program, and I'd be like, I need help, and he's not emotionally available. So no matter how many times I cried and begged and pleaded, he could never be what I needed. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like the relationship with the boys' dad, where we would have, communication. We never talked. It was just always like, sex, or, it was just not, what I mean? And so there was no like talking when I needed that, and so I just kept thinking about all this stuff that I've gone through, you guys, and like, man, completing that drug program was a huge, huge, huge milestone in my life, because I had lost my mom, which really did crush my soul. Like, it crushed my entire being. It really, really did. For many, many reasons, but she was all I had. My mom helped me so fucking much. Like, even though she enabled me to do bad, I know my mom really didn't know, like, because she was just like me. She didn't get taught shit. She didn't know, her mom stood by her child molester father her whole life. She didn't know, you know what I mean? And in her eyes, like, she's all messed up. And so, like, I don't know, dude, but I miss my mom more than anything, still to this day. Like, I wish I would hear her, Jamie, fucking cussing me out. Dude, I would give anything to hear her cuss me out. Like, cuss me fucking out, Rose. Like, come on. Like, scream for me. Tell me you're gonna call the cops on me. Tell me you fucking hate me and I'm a stupid bitch. Like, anything, because that's what she would say, Like, my sisters, my brother know, like, my mom was a lokester. She was crazy. Anyway, but that crazy lady, is her death is what pushed me into recovery, So anyways, like always, I'm all over the place. That's why I don't like making videos, because I'm like, brrr. Anyway, what was I gonna say? So, I'm doing some more coffee because I need more coffee. That first year, though, it took me out for real, because it was like a lot. And then I thought I was so madly in love with this guy. And like, do not get me wrong, like, he is a really good person and he has a lot of really good qualities about him. But you have to be with somebody who you're going to be able to have a conversation with. Like, and like, if you're not happy in a relationship, you have the power to leave, and you and only you can make your life different, and like, I did not know that. Like, I did not. I thought that because I had kids, I had to stay, and I thought like I had to make it work. And I thought that I was a failure if I left this relationship, because yeah, I have so many kids. Like, I have a lot of bad stuff that I've gone through. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is another failed relationship. Oh my gosh, maybe I am the problem. But you know what? I will totally take accountability, because I for sure was not perfect at all whatsoever. Like, I had a lot of mistakes that I made, but I think the biggest mistake for me would have been not leaving sooner, because you know what? I wasn't happy. And, just because somebody supports you financially isn't going to make you happy. And unfortunately, when you have so many kids and you don't have anybody to help you financially, you become dependent on that. And then you're like reliant. And it's like, oh, I have no choice. I have nowhere to go. I can't leave, but thank you, God, that I was able to, leave and get my own place. And, thank God that I was able to do those steps, because, I really do believe that if I had tried to stay in that situation, that I would have relapsed for sure, because it was just too much stress for me, and I can't handle stress. I was never ever taught how to self-regulate. I was not taught, how to regroup, collect and wait and like, no, 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 ever. So it was always like freaking out, worrying, stressed out, all of that. I never was taught like anything like that I need to know, but I was looking back on my life, and thinking, man, because, a lot of you guys know, like, I've gone through a lot of crazy traumas, and just knowing now, like, my relationship with the boys' dad, like, he kept me from my kids for years and years and years. Him and his wife hid my kids from me. They'd move, they'd change their number, they changed their mom's phone number, their dad's phone number. I could not find my kids. And they told me, like, oh, they're better off. That made me go crazy. And in my mind at that point, I turned to drugs, because I thought, that was the right thing to do. And then when I was on drugs, I was like, I can't be a mom for my boys because I'm on drugs, and they, they are better off, and he's right, and I believed that for so many years, that by the time I finally realized, like, that's not the truth. My kids always need me no matter what, and no matter how much time I've missed out on them, like, my love for them has never changed. But when you hear psychological shit over and over and over, like, you're not good enough, like, they don't need you, it really does get in your head, especially if your developmental is delayed. Like, mine is for sure delayed. Like, I'm very smart, but at the same time, I have a lot that I have no idea about. But I thought about that too, because losing my kids, which I don't really like talking about a lot, because a lot of you think that you know the whole situation and are like talking shit about me, and it just breaks my fucking heart. Like, my life already is what it is. Like, I can't take anything back. I can't change anything. The only thing that I can do is change how I'm doing it now. I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing that I can do about what I did before. But some of you guys are so mean and hurtful and say horrible things to me about my past mistakes, like, as if I can fucking magically get a wand and change my shit. Like, I can't change anything, What's done is done. But I did really want to mention that, because that was one of the things that was one of the excuses I used to continue to do drugs, was because I didn't have my boys with me. And in the very beginning, I hope to God I don't cry. In the very beginning of losing my kids, like, it's super, super deep, and I'm not going to talk all about it, because there's too much to even, I could never tell you everything. Like, it's just way too much. I've said so many things, but this is one thing that I won't. Yeah. So, but in the very beginning, you guys, before I had any other kids, I just remember I would I would cry so much every day. I would cry, 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 cry. That's why I would use drugs, because I just wanted to numb myself, because I would miss their little footsteps walking around and like, mommy, and waking me up, and, making breakfast with me and helping me make pancakes, and, just all of it, my little boys' little baby voices and their little baby hands, touching my face and telling me that they loved me. And, cause they seen abuse too, with their dad. Like, they went through abuse with me too, because of him, and then, just the shit that went on, and it really psychologically, I feel like, stunted me from growing, because for all these years, I told myself, like, I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible person, because I left them, like, I left them in the beginning, but when I tried to get them back, it was already too late, and he would move, and he would change his number, and he fucking moved his jobs. I couldn't find him, and I was in another state. And so, it just, by the time, like, I finally was able to get in contact with his wife, which it was really a bad situation. I drove all the way up there to Washington. I paid so much money to try to get, which was really hard for me because, I mean, come on now, like, I didn't have a lot of money, and that was already after I had Nico and Nevaeh. Like, the wife, like, just like try to take my place. And in the beginning, he told the boys, call her mom, and like, that was it. Like, I wasn't their mom anymore, and it just really fucked me up a lot for a long. I'm forever fucked up. I don't think I'll ever be okay, when it comes to that. But recently my son called me, and it's hard for me because, they're already almost grown, and if you guys know, like, only a few people know him and know me and know what he put me through. And his mom knows what he put me through. His mom knows. His mom was not here that long ago, and his mom sat and fucking told me right to my face, honey, you're so much more better off without my son. You deserve way better. I mean, his own mom told me that on God. God strike me down. Like, his own mom knows the way he is, Do not get me wrong, I take full responsibility in the way I was too. But, it did cause me a lot of fucking harm mentally because, he fucking hid them from me. He wouldn't let me see them. He would not let me talk to them. I couldn't hear their voice, nothing, for years and years and years. And finally, one day he reached out to me and was like, Jamie, I'm so sorry. Like, I really fucked up. I should have never taken you out of their life. But it was like, now it's already been all this time. My son tried to reach out to me the other day, and he just said he was bored, and he doesn't know me, I don't know him, and his dad doesn't believe in therapy, doesn't believe in depression, believe in certain things. So he is totally brainwashed, and he's totally the way his dad is. So it's really hard for me to have a relationship with him, and I don't know how to be a mom to them. I've never been a mom. I have no idea. I didn't have a mom. I don't fucking know how to be a mom. With Nevaeh, Nico, and Mia, like, I do because I'm there, but it's a lot different, So pray, if you guys pray, please pray for me regarding this situation with my kids, because it hurts my fucking heart. It hurts my soul so bad. Like, my boys are already grown ups. My other son doesn't want nothing to do with me. And I don't know, I mean, it sucks. Like, it really, 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 really hurts me deeply. And that's something that I'm so glad that I don't turn to drugs anymore, because that was another thing where I could have said, you know what, I can't fucking take this pain. I failed these kids, and that's it. And but now I know, that that's not the right choice. Before I really didn't know that. Like, I just was all messed up. But talking to him and seeing, how big and how handsome and how smart he is just made me fucking cry, because it's just like, man, but no matter where you are, no matter how far you've been, no matter how long it's been, like, it is never, ever, ever too late to stop using. It's never too late, like, for real. Like, I mean, no joke, because I mean, I used off and on throughout my life for, 10 years maybe. And I've lost a lot of shit because of my use, I mean, everything. I've had everything taken away from me. And without me getting sober, I would have nothing, you guys. And so my life may not be perfect. I may not be where I want to be, but I am damn sure not where I was yesterday. And you know what? I'm so fucking proud of myself. So I really wish to God that there would be people out there who would not be so fucking cruel and mean and say horrible things about me and about my kids, like, about how I freaking left them. Like, I swear, because you really don't know, and you really have no idea. And like I said, those very few people who do know the way that this person was to me and still is, I still have text messages to this day of how he talks to me. He's not able to have a conversation and move forward, no matter how many times I've said I apologize. But he treats me really to a point where it makes me feel like I'm right back where I was, and it's like, I can't put up with that. And that's the reason why I said I would rather wait until the boys are 18 so that they can come and look for me, so I never have to go through him, because it's just too hard. It affects me psychologically a lot, getting yelled at, getting cussed at, getting called names. Like, why should I have to be put back at that place? You know what I mean? Why? So as much as it hurts me, I decided that, and that's what I decided. So the fact that he called me, just really made me super happy. Like, tomorrow's my birthday, and then the next day is my 6 years of sobriety. And like, I don't know, man, but God is good. Sorry, I cussed and blah blah blah. But I love you guys. I hope that you guys have a good rest of your guys' day. God bless you guys. Thanks so much for watching and supporting me. And yeah, bye.